open up large parcels of inexpensive land in the outer reaches of the cities, build permanent bathrooms and other facilities, make them good, make them hard, but build them fast, and create thousands and thousands of high-quality tents, which can be done in one day. And you have to move people out.
Well, that, as if you need to be told, was former President Trump earlier this week, sharing his plan to move homeless people out of cities. Well, that's a big issue these days. A lot of people are very worried about the homeless population out in the street, the mental health crisis that we're facing in this country. Miami is one such place. They're seeing a huge surge in homelessness. City officials there have proposed a similar solution, moving some homeless into a nearby island. Okay, we're joined now by Brooke Schaefer, NewsNation's correspondent in Miami. Okay, homeless island, Brooke. It seems kind of radical. Seems like some people might have a problem with that. How is it supposed to work?
Yeah, well, it's definitely facing a lot of opposition already. This is one of the areas where commissioners have proposed setting up that temporary housing. This is called Virginia Key. As you mentioned, it is an island and it's not too far from downtown Miami. The idea is to set up some temporary housing, maybe some tiny homes. It would house about 100 people, and those homeless people would be able to come here. They would have a place to live, eat, shower, and apparently they would also have some outreach services for them. According to the plans, this is for people who are described as the chronic unsheltered homeless. But as I said, it is already facing a lot of pushback. People are saying this is a bad location to do this. This park is home to bike trails. There's also a beach here. They have summer camps here. There are kids here all day long. And on top of that, not too far away, there's also a sewage plant. So at this point, though, this idea is not finalized yet. This area, Virginia Key, is one of several areas on the table right now. Commissioners are going to talk about this again in September. Vic?
Okay, so many questions, Brooke. Let me ask you a couple, see if you have an answer for me. You might not, because I guess it's still in development. How much is it going to cost the taxpayers? And what kind of structures are we talking about? I mean, they're going to have to be hurricane-proof, right? I mean, do we know anything about what they're proposing, any of those details?
Well, let's talk about money really quickly, because that's part of the reason why this is not finalized yet. There isn't a budget in place yet, so commissioners still have to talk about this again. They're going to do that in September. And again, there are several locations on the table. As of right now, they have said that this area, Virginia Key, is the optimal location. But again, already getting a lot of pushback. I don't think that's going to slow down anytime soon. As far as the options, though, there are a few options on the table. One of them is some tiny homes. Set them up here. Again, this is really, though, temporary housing. They're not suggesting putting up, concrete walls out here and really making anything permanent. That's another reason why some people are kind of giving some pushback. They're saying this isn't a solution. A solution is really permanent housing, helping people get into permanent housing. This is really a middle ground that people are already pushing back on.
Okay, well, it sounds kind of radical. We're going to keep an eye on that. Thank you very much, Brooke. Very interesting.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.